This is Respectfully Outrageous with Nathan and Ben, and today we make our resurgence and talk about the 2018 offseason so far. Hope you enjoy. So, it's been a while, obviously, but we're trying something new.
Long time.
Yeah, it's been way too long. We're going to try something new with the new recording system. As you can see, we're not in the same place, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to start basically with our off-season recaps, our thoughts, whatnot, on what we think happened or how we felt through those transactions. I'm going to start with you. I'm going to ask you a little leading question. What team came out on top this offseason so far through this first couple of waves of free agency?
The Rams' big acquisitions in their corners. The fact that Seattle seems to be rebuilding what made them great, which was their front four and their defensive backs. The whole Tennessee Patriots thing and how many players the Tennessee Titans have acquired from New England. And just how much people are overreacting every time there's a new signing, whether it's Allen Robinson to the Bears, which I don't know if that's going to be a work or not. It probably will work. He's a good player, but it seems that every time someone gets signed by a team, they think they're going to the playoffs or the postseason. So I liked a lot of things that happened this postseason, but I think the biggest thing is probably I would have to say Sam Bradford to the Cardinals.
And what makes you say that? Why is that such a big thing? Because
it kind of gives the Cardinals some flexibility in this draft. Because if they didn't take Sam Bradford, I'm not going to get into all the quarterbacks, who's going to be good, who's going to be not in the NFL. Like, that's a different podcast. But the Cardinals have a lot of holes in their offense. They had one at their head coach, they filled that. Their defense needs some help, especially after Tyrann Mathieu left. The wide receiver core, besides Larry Fitzgerald and who. So I felt like if they got a veteran guy that can run an offense effectively, when he's healthy, he's got some great numbers. And I think if he can stay healthy, which is a big if in that division now with the Rams being a legit, the San Francisco 49ers coming after him, I don't know if he can stay healthy, but if he can do it, it allows the Cardinals to get some defensive backs and some more wide receivers instead of saying we need to get a quarterback and we need to trade up to 3 to get him. So it allows them flexibility, more opportunity, and stuff like that.
I gotta agree with you on that. The only thing is, I don't know if he was worth $20 million. That's my only thing on Sam Bradford. But I mean, like you said, when he's healthy, he can run an offense, and they need some sort of substantial quarterback that can get them into another situation where they don't have to trade up to number 3 or number 2, because obviously teams are going to expect a lot from that. So I mean, I don't know if this is their draft to get their quarterback.
Right. I mean, I think the Jets went all in to get their quarterback this draft.
Yep.
They said that they have like 6 to 7 players, which is a complete facade. You don't know who's going to be there. We all think we know who's going to be picked at number 1, but let's be honest. Us, the experts, have no idea who's going number 1. We think we do. We have no idea.
Right.
So look what the Jets had to spend to get up to number
3.
I mean, yeah, they moved up a couple spaces. It doesn't really make a big deal.
And they gave up 3 second-rounders.
I think teams need to realize that you don't need a franchise quarterback to win in this league. We hear so much about Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, Carson Wentz. There's a lot of teams like Philadelphia, Minnesota that you build a great defense. It's a lot easier to find a good pass rusher, some good corners, and some linebackers than the next Tom Brady. If you build a defense, you give them some offense, a good running game, they're dangerous. Like your Cowboys, they can be dangerous.
Right. I like how you made that Cowboys point because I wouldn't say Dak is necessarily a Tom Brady or a Drew Brees. But you also look at we're looking at like Tyrod Taylor on the Bills when he was there.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a Drew Brees or Tom Brady. I think he's a good quarterback. I like him. I think he'll do fine in Cleveland. Speaking of British quarterbacks, but
I think Tyrod's more than a bridge quarterback. I mean, I don't know if he can win you a Super Bowl, but his interception ratio is outstanding. His
it is.
Mobility is the best in the league, some of the best in the league, and he makes a lot of plays. He's a good leader. So
Yeah, speaking of the making moves, the Browns made quite a bit of moves this offseason, getting Jarvis Landry, Tyrod Taylor, Carlos Hyde. I mean,
Mhm.
that's and Danny. They got rid of Danny Shelton, right? I think
That's
it
a
was
huge loss right there.
yeah,
Huge. I'm not snubbing Danny Shelton, but like from what they brought in to what they lost, I think he's just being a role player with the Patriots. Whereas these players they brought in are going to be starters.
right.
Hughes said, Hugh Jackson being their head coach of the Cleveland Browns,
Yep.
said Tyrod's the guy until they draft Sam, basically.
Well, but I mean, that brings. I mean, like you said, we don't know who's going number one. My guess is it's probably going to be Darnold. That's what all signs point to. Um, but what really surprised me though was some teams with their lack of moves in free agency. Like you look at the Steelers and the Cowboys, and
Let's do something.
they
Do
didn't
something.
do.
Yeah, I mean the Cowboys.
The Cowboys ended up getting Allen Hurns,
Right,
which
which is a huge, which is nice because that means Des Bryant doesn't have to be the future guy.
Mm-hmm.
They can take some coverage away from him. It's going to open up things with Witten and Beasley and Switzer. I like Switzer to have a big second year.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's not a number one though.
He's not enough, but
So starting at the Super Bowl, we had a Philadelphia win, obviously, after a miraculous play. Nick Foles played well. And the biggest story going in the offseason was, what is Philly gonna do? They have Carson Wentz coming back from an ACL injury and MCL or something like that, and Nick Foles is playing well. Like he played like a starter. I don't know what your thoughts were on that exactly.
My thoughts are kind of Doug Peterson's comments. You got two phenomenal quarterbacks and one clear starter. Your starter is Carson Wentz when he's healthy. I mean, I'm not bashing Nick Foles in any way. He played his heart out. He's a great player, great team person. You want him on your football team. But this is Carson's team. Carson had an unfortunate injury, and it happened to lose his job. Now, when he comes back, you don't want him to rush back, but I think he might be back healthy week 2 or 3. He might be healthy for week 1. So Nick Foles will play that until Carson is healthy. And I think Nick Foles is the kind of person that can be that backup. In that situation, he comes back. The Eagles have great defense, great special teams, and they're good. And you have the best backup in the league. It also won you a Super Bowl, so you're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so after that, I don't remember exactly what was the big thing, but I mean, it was basically Browns don't want to go 0-16, blah 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 blah. But
Who would?
The big thing for me, I mean, Des Bryant is one of them. Another thing is the Giants.
Yeah.
With especially now with Odell Beckham and Eli Manning, I mean, they're in a tough situation right now. You got a new head coach, Pat Shurmur, offensive coordinator from the Vikings, is now head coach. Odell obviously was in that video that we all know.
I saw the video, and honestly, it doesn't paint a great picture for him.
No.
I wasn't the biggest fan in the world before. I was a Josh Norman fan. I know, hate me all now. I don't know if that reveals anything we already know about Odell Beckham Jr. He likes to party. He likes to have a good time. So what? He was in Spain. Big deal. The point is, that is who Odell Beckham Jr. is. He's a phenomenal talent. He's got, I wouldn't say character questions, but he does things that will make you scratch your head. On the field with the bat, fighting, acting childish, partying like that. But that's what you get with Odell Beckham Jr. And now, do you put up with that if you're the Giants? Because he can take the top off the defense like we've never seen before in our lives.
Right.
Do you put up that and keep that top off the defense ridiculous athleticism? Or do you trade him away and get someone that's going to be reliable and good and be a great team player? I don't know what you do. But I don't think the Giants are going to let Odell Beckham Jr. go.
Yeah. Because the thing is, because no matter where he goes, he's still going to want that massive contract. It's not going to go away.
And here's the thing, I'll play the teams that would want to buy him. Look at the teams that would really need a wide receiver that 2 first-round draft picks won't make a big difference. What are those teams?
I mean, maybe Cleveland?
would they rather have a 1 and a 4 pick or Beckham?
That's true. I mean, you still need someone to throw the ball. So, I mean, Tyrod Taylor's fine, but
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I like the Rams make sense not because I like the Rams, but because they don't have massive holes in the secondary. Their corners are a little bit older. Their linebackers are a little older, not great names, but they play well. But I don't think there's 2 first-round picks that went, oh my goodness, the Rams are now a Super Bowl team, or we need serious help at this position. The Rams make sense. The Cardinals don't make sense. Um,
I don't really see him leaving, but
no, I don't. I'm trying to think of the teams in the NFL that Beckham would go to, and they would maybe Baltimore
yeah, maybe.
because with him and Flacco and Macklin now, or Macklin left, I believe, or no, it'd be him and Crabtree.
Crabtree. Yep.
So, and that defense for the Ravens is no joke. So,
I mean, yeah. But my big thing, yeah. So, and I mean, they got the Eli Manning thing. Do you draft a quarterback this year with the number 2 and blah blah
yes,
blah blah blah.
absolutely.
But if Saquon is available at 2, would you pick Saquon or a quarterback?
Let's just go for the act. Let's just say the Cleveland Browns do not take the greatest player in this draft, which is Saquon Barkley. Let's just say that doesn't happen.
Okay. Little bias.
You
there.
have. I'm sorry, he's phenomenal. Okay, he's phenomenal. Go watch his highlight tape and tell
just
me
go.
he's not
No,
good.
keep going.
My point is, looking at your team, your defense is good. You got Landon Collins. If you lose Odell Beckham Jr., it doesn't make sense to get a quarterback. It doesn't make sense because then you're asking a quarterback into a baptism of fire with subpar running game and not a great offensive line. They're gonna get slaughtered. He's gonna get slaughtered.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, if you let Beckham go, it doesn't make sense to take a quarterback. It makes no sense. If Beckham leaves, you have to take Barkley. If Beckham stays, you take Barkley. You better win the Super Bowl because you have enough firepower to do it.
Right. According
But
to Eli Manning. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how long Eli can continue to play. I don't think he's Peyton. He's going to play till he's 39. I think at what point, one of these years, you're going to have to take a quarterback. I think Josh Rosen fits. I think he's athletic. I think he's a good passer. I think he's an Eli Manning that doesn't turn into Elliott. He's someone that's good.
Yeah.
He makes play phenomenal at UCLA. So I think I would take him. I wouldn't take Darnold. I wouldn't take Adams. There's some other players in this draft that I like, but I don't really see. I see him at his potential as an upgrade over Eli Manning. And that's something that can get the Giants over the hump in a very competitive and dominant NFC East. So,
All right. Well, those are some of our off-season thoughts. We're going to do another segment where we discuss our division picks after this first couple waves of free agency before the draft.
Okay.
Yeah, well, thanks for watching. It's been a while. Been a minute. And we'll see you in the next segment.
Okay, cool.
So in this segment, we are going to be talking, doing some pre-decision alignments, maybe some playoff Super Bowl picks, maybe just Super Bowl picks. We'll see. We will start in the AFC with the AFC North. Ben, I want you to give me your division leaders, maybe wild cards, and just give me a little division on the analysis on the AFC North.
Well, let's start with our best team in the AFC North, which has to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Ravens have done some things. The Steelers aren't the same team that we used to know and love, offensive, defensively. They're not. But no one else has made enough moves to come after them, certainly not Cincinnati. Cleveland looks good. I don't think they'll be a bottom feeder this year. So I think Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati in that order. I don't think there's going to be any wild card teams out of this division.
I would have to agree with that one. I'm looking at Pittsburgh, Le'Veon Bell issues. I still give them the division just because neither of the other 3 teams are looking like they can make it run for the division at this point.
Well, first off, we have Andy Dalton. That's 2 wins right there for everybody. So
That's true. It's true. So, Even Cleveland's looking good at this point to not be a bottom feeder, so that's
Good.
good.
Good. Let's be honest. Let's be careful. Good. We said they were going to go 6 and something, and they went 0 and 16.
Yep.
They're looking better. They're improvement. They're improving.
Yep.
That's the term I think we should be using. Improving.
Yep. All right, I'm not gonna say any records at this point. Just we'll get them some easy stuff out. All right, AFC West.
Can I flip a coin?
Here, I'll go first if that helps you.
Yeah, go ahead because I don't know. They're all pretty much equal.
All right, so with an interesting offseason, I'm gonna give the Raiders comeback season. I'm gonna give them the division title. And then I'm gonna have the Chargers in a wild card spot. One of the wild cards of the. Actually, no, they're not gonna get a wild card. They're gonna get second, but because there's a lot of competition in the AFC South. So I'm gonna give Oakland the number 1, and then I'm gonna have Chargers, no wild card, and then I'm gonna give it Kansas City and Denver. Denver, Case Keenum's not the guy. I'm sorry, he's not the guy. And as much as Elway thinks he is, I don't think he's the guy. Emmanuel Sanders and DT really need to step up because they have been lacking. Emmanuel Sanders has been okay, but DT has not been very good. They need to get a running game. They need an offense, and so I put them at the bottom. Oakland, comeback season. I think John Gruden might help. Marshawn Lynch, maybe getting that rust off year 1. Derek Carr, bad slump year. I don't know. It's a good question. LA, Philip Rivers is getting up there in age. Keenan Allen's still phenomenal as long as he's on the field. And then Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes is their quarterback right now. I think he just doesn't get more than 10 wins in his first season.
Okay, so I'll go. I'm gonna disagree with who's at the top. I'm gonna say the Chargers are at the top.
Okay.
Put the Chargers at the top. Put the Raiders. Chiefs behind by a game, and then I'm gonna put the Broncos down by a country mile. I think the Chargers defense is gonna be phenomenal. I think Philip Rivers is gonna have like a 35, 37 touchdown season, which is respectable. I think Keenan Allen's gonna keep going. He's the best receiver in the league, and I think they'll win a lot of games. I think the Raiders are gonna be better than the Chiefs simply because their offenses are both going to be explosive, but I think the Raiders have more holes filled than the Chiefs do.
Yeah.
Neither are going to be good defenses. Neither one. They're both going to be awful. But I think the Raiders are going to be less awful on defense, and Derek Carr has more experiences in the clutch than Mahomes does.
Yeah.
And that's going to be why they lead by a game. Denver, Von Miller, and who on defense?
Right.
Chris Harris and what?
Keep Talib's
on
gone.
Offense, keep Talib's gone. Their second, the no-fly zone is just a zone of emptiness now. Case Keenum is respectable, but he's a career backup. I don't know what John Elway's trying to get at with this facade of he's our guy, he's been our guy, I've loved him since Houston. If you did, then why didn't you draft him? But that attitude to Denver, it's just a mess. And I don't know what they're going to do at running back. I don't know what they're going to do at wide receiver or tight end. Who knows? So
yeah, all right, respectable. AFC East. Obviously, I think Patriots number 1 division, and then no other wild card teams. At this point, I could say that Miami gets second if Tannehill's healthy. I'm gonna have Buffalo at 3rd because they don't have a quarterback yet. I mean, Nathan Peterman is their guy, and we all know what happens when you start Nathan Peterman. So I think with Shady there, they're not the bottom, but they're 3rd. And then I got to give New York Jets the bottom because Josh McCown, Teddy Bridgewater, moving up to 3 spots. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. So at this point, I just got to put them at the bottom.
I'm going to shock the world here. No, I'm not going to say that the Patriots aren't going to win the division. But New England's going to win the division, obviously. Then I'm going to say the Jets and the Bills, either way, go by a game. Miami. And I could see the Jets stealing a wild card if they get Rosen or someone and they play well. I could see them stealing a wild card.
Hmm.
That's what I think.
Hmm. So you have Miami down at the bottom.
Yep, I don't really know what to expect of their defense
That's true. That's
since
true.
that Sue's gone.
Yeah.
I don't really know about their running game. I mean, Kenyon Drake was great, but is he real? I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Respectable. Um. Now, AFC South. Now here's my picks. You ready for this?
yep.
All right. I got 3 playoff teams in this division. I've
Yeah,
got
I agree with that.
I've got Houston Texans
Mm-hmm.
number 1. I've got Jacksonville at 2, and then I've got Indy at
Mm-hmm.
3. And Tennessee's not going to be very far behind, but there's only 2 wildcard teams in one conference, so they don't make the playoffs.
Right.
Tennessee, Deion Lewis. I mean, they cut DeMarco Murray. I mean, they got Malcolm Butler. I don't see any huge overhauls that really makes
Right.
this team better from what they were last year. So I got them at the bottom. Houston, as long as Deshaun Watson, Jadeveon Clowney, and J.J. Watt are all healthy, and they have 2 number 1 wide receivers, Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins. So, I mean,
Right.
Deshaun Watson was lighting up fields last year. So I got them winning. And Jacksonville, Blake Bortles, if he plays like he did last year, their defense is phenomenal. They're really good.
Say they're okay. Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I'll let you finish your.
Okay, well, I mean, their defense is good. Their corners are phenomenal. Their pass rush is amazing. Safeties need a little bit of work, but overall, that defense is really good. That's why I give them the second, and I don't give them the win. And then Indy,
Yep.
I think. I mean, you can't sleep on Andrew Luck. If he's really coming back
No, you
healthy,
can't.
I mean, he's a Pro Bowl quarterback, and he's gotten an already diminished Indy team to the playoffs before, and plus Indy just got 3 draft picks for moving down 3 slots, from 3 to 6, that's really good. So that's my thoughts on the AFC South.
Okay. I don't mean to do this to your guy, Sean Watson, but I'm going to have to go Jacksonville because Saxonville is legit. Jacksonville is going to win the division, and they're going to be really good. I like Houston. They're going to go to the playoffs. I think Tennessee is going to go to the playoffs. I think there's 3 playoff teams in that division. And if they were in other divisions in the AFC, they might win. They're just, all 3 of them are that good. The only problem is, I don't think Andrew Luck can throw for 40 touchdowns and have the Colts hold him to 39 points a game defensively. He just doesn't have enough help. Andrew Luck can light everybody up, but he just doesn't have enough around him to make plays. And I think on offense, Deshaun Watson's got all these weapons throwing the football, but I don't know if he has enough weapons running the ball. So that's where Houston's Achilles heel is.
Okay, yeah.
I think Tennessee is going to get a wide receiver there, be better. And I think Jacksonville is just Blake Bortles is going to improve. And they're going to have a first-round pick to add to that defense. I mean, it's crazy. So Jacksonville, Houston, Tennessee, Indianapolis. And none of them are going to be below 500.
Yeah, that's respectable. I think most of their losses are probably going to come from the division themselves. I mean, from playing each other.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be interesting.
Those will be some great games.
Yeah, they'll be good games.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now we move to the NFC. And let's start with the NFC South. And in a division that had 3 playoff teams last year, I'm gonna say that they have 1 next year, and that's the New Orleans Saints.
Yep, I agree with that.
I don't think Carolina or Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta people, you gotta stop because Kyle Shanahan's gone. I'm sorry, Atlanta's not the same team anymore. I mean, they have not been using Julio Jones to his capacity. Julio Jones was not great not phenomenal. I mean, Keenan Allen even blew him out of the water. I mean, Keenan Allen's good, but even Julio Jones is Julio Jones. You know what? So
when healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't know.
Go first. You want me to go first?
I'll go. I got New Orleans winning.
Yep.
No surprise. Good season. Drew Brees is back. I mean, he doesn't look like he's showing any age at this point. Slowing down. They've got a good running game. Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara. Good receiving game. Good young defense. So I got them number 1. And then I'm gonna have Carolina 2, just because I don't trust Atlanta or Tampa Bay. and then I got Atlanta at 3 and Tampa Bay at 4. Basically same order this year, but I've got Carolina and Atlanta losing more than they did this year.
Okay, I got New Orleans by a lot. They're going to be good.
Yeah.
I think Carolina will be 8-8, but that's not going to be anywhere close to what New Orleans can do if they play well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I have Tampa over Atlanta. I just don't know what Atlanta we're going to see.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the same Atlanta that came in and beat the Rams. I'm like, okay, this is also the same Atlanta that couldn't find a way to beat the Bills at home.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know what this is. I don't know if Tampa Bay could be worse than they were in Hard Knocks. So, they'll figure it out, and I think they'll be the third team. But there's only going to be one wild card. There's not going to be any wild cards in this division, and it's going to all be New Orleans.
All right. Let's move to the NFC West. Obviously, I'm looking at this, and I'm going to say there's 2 playoff teams here. One Super Bowl contender and someone that's probably going to lose in the first round. I've got LA number 1, San Francisco 2 with Jimmy G and Richard Sherman. I got them at 2. And then I'm actually going to put Arizona over Seattle, and I got Seattle last.
Okay.
Seattle's defense is dismantled. We don't know what's going to happen with Cam Chancellor. We don't know how Earl Thomas is going to recover, come back. And we don't even know if he's coming back to Seattle. And Arizona, I mean, they have Sam Bradford. They might draft a quarterback. David Johnson's coming back. He's pretty good. And Larry Fitzgerald is still playing at a tremendously high level. So I got to give Arizona the 3rd slot. And I got to say Seattle drops off by like 4 or 5 wins.
Okay. I'm going to go. Rams and 49ers by a game. By a tiebreaker game. I'm actually going to give it to the 49ers because I think Jimmy Garoppolo just has a clutch gene in him, which scares me.
Yeah.
What he did to those Jaguars, I'm kind of salty about. I think the 49ers are going to take the division. Don't want that to happen. 49ers are back. Rams will be second. I think they're both going to the playoffs. I think the Rams will go farther. Crossing my fingers. I think the Cardinals are going to come and beat Seattle again at CenturyLink Field like they did. So I think they'll be there. But I think Arizona is going to have a better record than Seattle, but Seattle will be a better team.
Okay.
Because I think Russell Wilson has the ability to create and make it so it's not 49-0 like it was when the Rams played Seattle.
Yeah.
Because that Rams game, I think, showed what Seattle was. A team with a pretty good quarterback, some good weapons, no offensive line, no running game, and a defense with massive holes.
Yeah, that's respectable. Yeah, I mean, the Rams are still the Rams. I mean, I don't know if... Will they really improve by 3 wins? I don't know. That's tough to tell. NFC North. Now, this one's interesting. Kirk Cousins is in the division. Aaron Rodgers is coming back. Mitch Trubisky's rising. Matt Stafford. But I got to say Minnesota wins the division.
Yeah, I got to agree with that.
Their defense is too good. I mean, we saw what they did with Case Keenum last year. Kirk Cousins is around the same playing style, playing level, so I just give them the division again.
Yeah.
And I would have to say that Green Bay comes in, but they don't get a wild card. They need Jimmy Graham is not a replacement for Jordy Nelson.
No, it's a different scheme kind of player. Jimmy Graham worked in New Orleans because Breeze spread it out and matched you up and went, you're on a tight end, you're on a corner, I'm going to figure it out, and he matched you up. That's not something Aaron Rodgers does. He would be dominant in New England because they match Gronkowski up on matchups that he'll always win. They don't do that in Green Bay. They didn't do it much in Seattle, and that's why he wasn't as dominant. And I also think it shows the quarterback levels between Russell Wilson and Drew Brees. I mean, one's NFL Hall of Famer, and one is, well, you're really, really good.
Right. So, with that, I would have to say that Green Bay and Detroit are probably going to be within a game. I'd probably put Green Bay on top just because Aaron Rodgers is a better quarterback. That's my only thing. They don't have really much of a defense, but They went 7-9 without Aaron Rodgers for more than half the season, so I'll have to give them the second that they deserve. And then I got Chicago last, but I don't have them at 5-11. I think they can go 7-9, which is pretty good.
Okay.
Maybe 8-8. I don't know. Maybe they got Allen Robinson, so
I'm going to shock the world here. Minnesota's going to win this division. That's not the shocker. The shocker is Detroit and Chicago are going to be second and third. Green Bay's going to be fourth.
wow.
I don't care how bad the bad man that he is. I don't really care. Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback. But here's the thing. No Jordan Nelson. No running game. I'm not hating on Ty Montgomery or Aaron Jones. Who's playing defense behind HaHa Clinton Dix?
Good question.
You can insert Jeopardy music here. Nobody. I mean, Demarius Randall's gone. Morgan Burnett's gone. Micah Hyde is gone. There's Clay Matthews and what else? Chicago got some pieces. Tariq Cohen. Trubisky is going to improve. Matthew Stafford is legit. They got Matt Patricia in Detroit now. They got LeGarrette Blount. Those teams seem to do well when they sign him. And Minnesota has a nasty, ferocious pass rush. Mm-hmm. And Delvin Cook is coming back.
Yep.
And the Vikings, they can take a wide receiver at 1, get someone besides Stephon Diggs and Adam Thielen, and they're really good. Mm-hmm. So Green Bay has the best quarterback in the division by far, and nothing else. Green Bay Packers and the Indianapolis Colts are the same team. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal quarterback, nothing else.
Yeah, all right, that's respectable. I mean, they just got rid of Jordan Nelson, so that's fair. All right, and now your favorite division, the reigning Super Bowl champions, and it's the East Division.
Yep.
I'm going to go first, and I'm going to say there's 2 playoff teams in this division.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Philly winning, obviously.
Yep.
They only got better through free agency.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, with those 2 quarterbacks, you can't argue that they win the division. And then I've got Dallas at wildcard spot just because I don't know what's up with Washington and New York. I'm sorry, but all this Odell drama and Kirk Cousins drama for Washington, I can't trust him. I never really have.
Okay. Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got Philadelphia winning it due to the insecurities of the quarterback position. Not that Nick Foles isn't great or anything like that, or Carson Wentz. I don't know what's going to happen there. Their defense always has me wary when you add a lot of pieces to it. Mm-hmm. And Michael Bennett is a volatile player. I don't know how that's going to work out. So I think Philadelphia will win the division. They'll be a wild card team, though. I think Dallas will be second in the division. Will also be a wild card team. I think Washington is going to shoot themselves in the foot and in classic Redskins fashion, choke away a chance that they could have had in the playoffs. And I honestly have no idea what's going on in New York.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Beckham fiasco, the whole defense, we're switching to 3-4, so we have to get rid of all our pass rushers. We don't really have linebackers. We want Barkley. We want Rosen. We can't draft Rosen because we can't draft a quarterback in New York. Because we started Geno Smith in Oakland because Manning was awful. Evan Ingram's our wide receiver, but he's a tight end. It's just a mess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Philadelphia is the most complete team. I think Dallas is going to run the football. Dak Prescott is going to throw more than just a slant and the dump off to Jeremy Lane in the end zone. And I think the Cowboys and the Eagles are both going to be wild card teams. And it's going to be a fun division and fun games to watch.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting game because it's kind of lopsided. It seems like it's kind of divided. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, well, so those are our division picks. Hopefully we get more recording sessions in soon because this has been really fun. I know it's been fun. Go ahead.
Before we go, early NFC Championship game and Super Bowl picks.
Okay. NFC game. I'm gonna put New Orleans and the Dallas Cowboys.
I was gonna go New Orleans and San Francisco.
I don't think San Francisco is quite ready to make it to a Super Bowl, but I think they can knock off some powerhouse teams in the
The
playoffs.
reason I'm saying that is because I thought New Orleans could find a way to beat the Vikings. They did it before. Missed tackle.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be able to do it. I think the 49ers are going to come up on Speedball and surprise them. Super Bowl, I have the Saints in it against. I don't like the Patriots this year. I don't.
I don't either.
I don't like the Steelers. I'm trying to figure out division winners, so I'm guessing I'd have to say Houston, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have New Orleans and Houston.
Yeah, New Orleans, Houston, or New Orleans and Jacksonville, which would both be great games that I want to see.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that'd be great.
Those would be games that I would love to be at. I mean, Drew Brees against that defense of the Jaguars. Ooh.
Yeah.
Covering Alvin Kamara, or we can only wish. We can only hope. So yeah.
Yeah. So that wraps up our division or early preseason thing. We might do some sort of mock draft or some drafting stuff later. Hopefully, we get some more recording stuff out. It's good to get back into the groove a little bit. Produce some more content. It's been a while. I will say. It's probably been since week 7 or something.
We got busy with schoolwork. Sports came in.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and we'll still have that, but I'm sure we'll find time. We got to find time.
Yep. Draft's coming up in a couple days, like 27, 26 days, something like that.
Yeah, it's coming. I'm excited.
Yep, in Arlington.
Yep.
Make sure to tune in and watch it.
Yeah, you can watch it all. They're televising it all this year. All right, well, thank you for watching, and we will see you later.